When you're a newcomer to the Warhammer world like I am, the storefronts offer you this opportunity to paint for free either a Space Marine or an Age of Sigmar character. Obviously, being the heavy metal, sci-fi loving gentleman that I am, I had to choose none other than this Space Marine you see here. I didn't glue this one or prime it. It came ready to go. So today, I'm skipping prep and diving straight into painting. Okay, maybe a little bit of prep. I want to take a look at him closely. He seems to be a pretty simple model, no crazy detail, but that makes it perfect for practicing control and color choice. My plan on this one, I really want to try layering properly this time, focus on neater edges, and actually think about where the light's hitting. After that last video, I looked into why my piece came out looking so grainy, and what I kept reading was that I needed to thin out my paint more. I didn't do much thinning on my last painting. I thought that the paints were at the thickness that they should be, so I just applied the paint as it was. This time I'm really gonna move slowly, go layer by layer, and make sure that I water the paint down enough. You may find yourself thinking, why is there a piece of gum on his paper towel? And you'd be right to think that, but that's the jetpack that is now suddenly just painted blue. I got a couple of really good base coats on the actual Space Marine. I think he has a really nice even consistency. And at this point, I'm ready to move on to add new base layers. I was looking up some reference photos about Space Marines. As I said in my last video, I know absolutely nothing about Warhammer or its world or its lore, so I needed to find some inspiration. I knew that blue was a common armor color, but I wanted to see what else there was. And I saw this really cool Space Marine that had white pauldrons, and I thought, hey, that'd be some really nice contrast. Why not try it? And this is where I lost a lot of my confidence. White is a pain in the ass. It doesn't go on evenly. It looks blotchy. I don't think I ever truly accomplished the level of evenness that I would like, but I gave it a shot, and now it's time to find out how to properly apply white for the next project. At this point in the paint job, I was still tightening up the base colors and trying to make everything look a little more intentional. It's interesting how even the smallest adjustments can change how the whole model feels and looks. When I switched over to the metallics, everything kind of slowed down again in a good way. The shoulder trim went on really smooth, and for the first time in this paint job, I felt like I actually had control of what the brush was doing. The Aquila, I think is what they're called, on the chest, it's a part that I was really worried about, but it worked out pretty well and it was pretty straightforward. I just took my time, kept the paint thin, and let it settle where it needed to. It came out a lot cleaner than I thought it would, to be completely honest. Even the rifle I felt a lot better this time. There were a few careful passes that made me really anxious, but I was patient and it started to look intentional. Not perfect, but definitely solid. This whole section was the first moment on this mini where I could actually feel myself getting more comfortable. Like, things I've been practicing and things that I was taking notes on from my last painting finally started to show up in this paint project. Alright, so remember that chunk of blue plastic I joked about earlier? The one that looked like a piece of gum? Well, yeah, somehow it leveled up while the camera wasn't rolling. Now it actually resembles a jetpack a little, which is a nice change, right? At this point I'm just cleaning it up a bit, fixing some of the edges, smoothing out the color, trying to make sure it matches the rest of the armor. Those little things. But they make a huge difference, right? This part of the process I'm really excited about. This is where I felt like I remembered, hey, sometimes the details that are hard to reach, that piece needs to not get glued on right away. Luckily, with this Space Marine that came pre-assembled for me, I was able to take the jetpack off and really get those finer small details on the back side of it that would normally be tucked away behind his head. Once that was in a good place, I took another look at the Space Marine as a whole. And at this point, he was starting to feel close. Not finished, but at the point where the base starts to matter. The armor was coming together, the metallics looked clean, and finally I could see the direction this was going. Which is probably why my brain said, okay, time to do something way outside your current skill level. For some reason, I really wanted to try a volcanic base. No idea why, never done anything like it, but I was weirdly excited to push myself there. Oh, by the way, if you're enjoying following along with this journey, feel free to like or subscribe. I've still got a lot to learn, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Alright, volcanic base time. This idea actually came from my Reddit Realms video, that insane volcanic base by Moral Fiber. I swear, it was like 100 out of 100, just absolutely perfect. And for some reason, my beginner brain went, yeah, let's try that. There were no guarantees it was going to even look a quarter as good, but it was worth the shot. This first Space Marine means a lot to me. I know he's just a beginner piece, but I'm genuinely proud of him, and I can't wait to paint more. I think I'm finally starting to settle on the faction I might end up playing, but that's a journey for another time. For now, this journey is complete, so let's take a look at my first Space Marine.